Welcome to Coding Literacy Flakes 31 of 40. Scratch Part 4. We'll be looking at iterations. We did look at iterations with JavaScript, but today we're looking at iterations using the Scratch program. First of all, let's fire up Scratch, and I'll be using Scratch version 2, the offline editor, but you can go to the Scratch site and use Scratch version 2, the online editor, which is the same thing. That's up to you. So the focus here today is iterations. That's a loop you can do several times, and it saves on code. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a square. So to draw a square, I'm going to move that sprite, the cat sprite there. I want to move it 60 steps, or 60 pixels. And as you can see, it moved along. But I also wanted to draw a line, so I need to make sure that there's a pen down and move 60 pixels. So the sprite's moved across 60 pixels and it's drawn a line. So wherever I put it, it draws a line. So that part's working well. But I want to draw a square, so what I need to do is make the sprite turn 90 degrees, move, turn, etc. 4 times. So I need to make it turn. Let's make it turn clockwise, or anti-clockwise I should say, 90 degrees. And I'll need to repeat that 4 times. I'll duplicate that. So it's got 1, 2 times. Duplicate the whole lot. It should give me 4 turns. 4 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4 is working. Or it's there. So look what it does. And there's a square. So wherever the sprite is, it would draw a square. Now, the iteration comes into play here. You don't need to repeat things. You can iterate them, loop them. So from that point onwards, I should just do the code once and use an iteration. There's several types of iterations occurring here. The forever, the repeat. So Scratch offers you a number of different types, and there's conditional ones as well. But I want to use the repeat. Repeat that 4 times, and it saves me doing up a lot of code. Now it's not that important here, it's only a small exercise, but when you're doing large scale programming and there's pages and pages and volumes of code, shrinking down the code line speeds up the program, so it's pretty important that the iterations are used appropriately. So if I was to do this now, it's done the square again, it does the same thing, but with less coding. So that's working the way I want. I could actually do that with, well, let's just do a triangle. I'll duplicate the whole lot there, and let's iterate a triangle. Triangle has 3 sides. Now the way it works with polygons, regular polygons, the external angles must times to 360. So you've got 360 degrees total divided by 3. That angle there, turn, must be 120, and that gives me a triangle. So wherever I move it, I've got a triangle happening. And the same rule applies. I've got a triangle, and I've got a square. Let's do a pentagon. Let's duplicate that. A pentagon. It's got 5 sides. There are 5 sides. 360 degrees total on the external angles. Divided by 5 means the turns must be at 72. And now give me a regular pentagon. Let's just do one more. And I'm going to iterate this 6 times. And it's 360 total divided by 6 means the angle turns must be 60. So that should give me a hexagon. Well, I think it gives me a hexagon. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it gives a hexagon. There we go. So all that's working nicely, and I've got all the iterations occurring. But let's just tidy this up a bit. What we need to do first of all is we need to clear that mess. So there's a clear function. When I click on clear, it clears it all up. Also, I want to locate this sprite, this cat sprite, back to location. The location for that is in the center of the screen. It needs to go to 0, 0. Okay. So if I move that, sends it back to 0, 0. The other obvious thing there, it needs to have the pens up. So I've got a pen down occurring, and actually I should put that pen down on every single module there. But when it leaves the module, it should have a pen up. so it doesn't draw. So the virtual pen must be shifted up, so when it moves around it doesn't draw lines. So if I was to finish with a module, oops, click it together. Okay, it does this triangle. If I was to clear it, it goes back to location. There's no lines drawn because the pen's up. There's only one other thing you need to do. You need to make sure that Scratch faces the right way, because Scratch could be facing different locations, directions. So you've got to be careful. If I had to turn that, say, an example. If I was to turn that 15 degrees, then Scratch stays at a 15-degree turn. So if I was to move back to location, it still stays at 15 degrees. So I need to make sure that it goes back to pointing the way it should be pointing, and it's got here a point to direction 90. So notice that Scratch at 15-degree turn. If I clear it now, it goes back to location facing the right way. That's a nice little tidy up effect. Now the program won't work for the user. It works for you because you're the programmer, but the user won't see any of this. They would see this, and they've got a flag, and they've got a stop, and nothing's happening. So you need to indicate in your program which part you want to start, or where you want the program to start. So under events, I put a flag in here, and all that does right now is going to clear it. So if I was over here, it just does that one module. But over here, if I was to do this, it just does the one module, nothing else. So what I want to do here is I'm going to put flags everywhere. I'm going to put a flag on here, and here, and here, and here. Now they're all going to start at once. There's a problem with this though, if I look at it carefully, is where does it start? I mean, okay, it could be starting this particular module, could be starting here, could be starting there. You don't know where it's starting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a delay. In here, I'm going to delay it by 1 second. So before it gets to the middle of the screen and clears everything, it's going to delay for 1 second. Over here, actually I might put a delay after it. Yeah, okay, delay 1 second. Now here I'll put a delay just in front of it, and so before it starts doing any triangle, I want to wait 2 seconds. So give the head start to setting it up into proper location, then that can start off, and then this one can start off later. We'll give a delay of about 3 seconds, and this one will delay for about 4 seconds, and I'll delay this for 5 seconds. So we'll wait for 5 seconds. Okay, what happens now? Right, it's delayed for a second. It does a triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon. So it's working the way I like. This is good. But now I want it to move in different locations. I actually want the triangle to be printed to start there, come back to location, do the square, and then do the pentagon and the hexagon. So to do that, I need to get location changes. So first of all, that's starting at it goes to 0, 0, which is fine. But I want the triangle roughly here. I could get an idea of that by looking at the value. See the value of x and y. If I was to move the sprite around, it changes. It tells you where it's at currently. So I want it roughly here. So I want it to be roughly at -167, so on the X to the left, and I want it 112 pixels up. So if I was to put that in location right here, that should draw my triangle here. Same thing happens with the square. I want the square roughly here. Now with the square, I want the y to be the same, so it's lined up. So 112 for the y, because it's 112 there for the triangle. But I want it to move across 132 to the right on the x values. So that's going to be in the same height, but one's going to be to the left, one's going to be to the right. And let's move the scratch down here. This is now going to be for my pentagon. It changes there, gives me roughly an idea of what I want. Well, what I want actually is to make that 132. The reason being, so I can line up with the X there, so it's on the same right hand side. But I want to drop down to say -132. 122, and I'll move that into location over here. Now the last one is I want to print the hexagon over here, and I should have all the clues I need. Actually, I need to have the x value at 167 as per here. I need to have the y value. Oh, that's not right. I need to have the x value. The y value at 1 minus 122 to line up with this one here. Put it down, and let's have a look at it. Okay, let's run the program and see what happens. Good. Now I need to go back to the beginning, obviously, so I need to put a little module in there, and the module will be like, let's have a look. We'll put a flag up. Okay, this one can have a delay of about, well, we had 5 seconds. Last one, let's make this one 6 seconds after it's finished destroying. Then we're going to go back to the location. So move to location of 0, 0. Okay. So if I was around now, I might delay in the middle. Various polygons drawn to the sides. It goes back to the middle. Now one more thing I'll show you is you can change pen color. So let's just do a pen color. Nothing to do with iterations, but it's a nice little thing to do. A pen color. So I can change the pen color to let's put this one here, and I want to make that green. So if you click on the color and click on some green, it changes the color then. Let's use the pen color over here and just make this one here. Let's keep that color. That's fine. Whatever this looks like a red color. Let's move the pen color over here. Let's make this one purple. If I click on that and I find some purple, which is right there. Okay, pen color. This one here. I'll make this one blue, I suppose. Click on the color, find some blue. There's my pen colors. Let's have a look at it now. Green, purple, blue, done. Okay, and that's it. So the main focus here is iterations. It saves on a lot of code. By saving a lot of coding, it makes the program faster, and that's the whole purpose of doing programming. Well, thank you for watching.